Let's get into position for the side lying leg lifts with the bent bottom knee. You're going to lie down on your side. Bend your bottom arm so that your elbow is coming forward in front of you and your head is resting on your hand. You can also put a cushion or a towel underneath your neck. You want to support your neck so that your neck doesn't fatigue and be hurting. The bottom leg is going to be bent. How bent it is doesn't really matter. The top leg is going to be straight out along just like this. And so the bent leg here, you know, how far in front it is of this thigh, it doesn't matter again. It's just whatever makes you feel stable and secure so that you're not like wobbling all over the place, okay? From there, your top hand, as a beginner, you can rest it in front of you like this. We're not leaning into it though. We're just kind of using it just to stabilize ourselves. And then as you're able, you can eventually move your hand just to resting on your torso. The other thing you might find useful, especially this was tricky for me, our goal when we do the movement is to only move from the hip joint and not letting our pelvis rise up, but that can be very hard to tell the difference. I really struggled with this. What can help is actually keeping your hand here, like on the bony part of your pelvis, so that as you raise your leg up, over time, even then I honestly felt like it was hard to feel, but you will start to get a feel for when your pelvis has moved versus when just your leg is moving, okay? So, because our goal is to keep the pelvis totally still, but it can take a little while to learn. All right, so here we are in position. Your leg is straight down like this. Foot can be flexed or pointed, doesn't matter. Don't worry about that right now, but you do want to have that energy down through the toes. Think about gently drawing your belly button into your spine, having those just gently engaged abdominals. We're not trying to be rigid and clenched, but we do want to have some engagement so we're supporting our body while we do the movement, right? From the top, for the side lying leg lift with the bent knee on the bottom, I want to show you what the positioning you want to be. So you want to think about having a straight line all the way down from your head, through your ear, through your shoulder, hip, and knee. And it can be very easy because our hip flexors are very strong for our leg to get kind of pulled forward. So you want to think about your toe being in line with the middle of your hip here. Okay, so that should be more of a straight line. Also, you want to think about your hips being stacked on top of each other, as well as your shoulders being stacked on top of each other. So we're not kind of leaned forward and we're not leaned backwards. We're just in a straight line, and that part can be a little hard to see from the front, so that's why I wanted to show you from the side. As far as the bent bottom leg, just bend to whatever is comfortable for you. So what will make it most stable is if your knee is in front a little bit of this leg and the foot is in back a little bit, but where exactly it is, that's just up to you and what feels comfortable. That's just really to make a stable base for you to work off of. Hi, I'm Rizal. If you're a woman in your over 40s and almost 40s like myself, and you would like to learn how to do resistance training at home with really detailed tutorials, as well as more slow-paced workouts using these movements, chill music, nice outdoor settings, you don't have to do super intense stuff to get an effective workout. If that sounds good to you, please come on over to my website at inspireforwomen.com. From there, to do the movement, we're going to just raise our leg in the air until our toe is just a little bit above our hips. So if you can have your hand here if you need your hand there to stabilize and do the movement. But if you can hold on your pelvis here, that will kind of help you to see that you're just moving here from the leg and really trying to keep that pelvis still. Another way to really feel the difference, of when you kind of run out of range of motion at the hip joint is by not only think about lifting up, but think about lifting out and up. So we're like kind of try to think about elongating your leg as you lift it up as well, okay? Because when you do that, you will kind of notice more easily when you've run out of room to move from the hip joint, and any further movement would be the pelvis moving. Does that make sense? All right, so here we are. So let's do the movement together now. So lift the leg a little bit. You can see I'm not doing a lot. And then when I come back down, we're not coming all the way back down here, right? So we want to keep tension on the muscle. So we go up and then we just kind of come back down to straight, just, you know, all in a straight line here, okay? I do a few for you now. Now you can also do a pause at the top, right? As you go up, really feel that contraction in the back of your glute there. And you can also turn the toe down, and that will help activate those muscles as well. Now, when you're doing the movement, if you are having trouble feeling it in the right place, so you should be feeling it back in here. So if you're feeling it more towards the front, like your hip flexors, there's two things you can do to help with that. We talked about not leaning our torso and hips far over, right? So we don't want to do that. However, sometimes what can help is to lean that just a teeny bit. So because we do have a tendency for our torso to kind of start moving backwards during the movement, just because these muscles on the front are stronger, so they're going to have a tendency to want to, just subconsciously, we might start doing that. So you have your shoulders and hips stacked, but if you are having trouble feeling it here and you're feeling it more here, you can roll just the top hip and shoulder just a teeny bit forward, just a teeny bit. The other thing you can do is take your leg, now don't move where it is, just keep the toe in line with the hip, but what you're going to do is turn the toe downwards. So do you see me rotating at my hip? I'm just rotating the leg down or up, so it's not moving back or front, it's just staying right where it is, but we're going to rotate the toe down at the hip here. That is going to put these muscles a little bit more on top, and that's going to make it so that these muscles are a little bit more against gravity, which will help them to do the work, okay? And again, you want to be feeling it in here. You can point the toe, or you can also flex the foot. It just changes what is working a little bit on the lower leg. When you flex, it works the shins more, and when you point, it works the calves more. Either way, you want to keep energy through all the way to the foot. You don't want to have like a limp foot. You want to have that energy going all the way to the end of your leg. That will work all the leg muscles more. Thanks for being with me today, ladies. Once again, I'm Rizal. If you're a woman in your over 40s and almost 40s like myself, and you would like to do more slow-paced workouts, not lots of intense stuff, resistance training at home, you like chill music, nice outdoor settings, if that sounds like your style of exercise, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com.